Welcome to WiscoDice! Hey yo folks, I'm your host, Jaconzi with the most, and I am joined today by...
Hey everybody, it's Justin, the Meeples champion here.
This is Matt, the Ghost Walker.
And I'm Suzanne.
And this is episode 130 of the WiscoDice Tabletop Gaming Podcast! Today is August 28th, 2024, and on today's episode, we're taking on some of our favorite 5-player games while playing the Dice is Right game. But first, we're going to bring back an old segment and roll into talking about what games we have been playing.
All right, so for our first game, we thought we'd bring up one. It's called Wonderlands War. This game is published by Druid City Games. Also, you can find it on All Play. Playtime is listed as 45 to 125 minutes. It can play anywhere from 2 to 5 players. This is a game I do really enjoy. It is a great, very themey Wonderlands themed game. Breaks up into multiple phases. One where I like to say you're drafting. Running around the tea party, gathering resources or people to help you out. And then a phase that I'm sure Suzanne would find infinitely fun, the battle phase. This is a very player-heavy interaction game. There's a lot of back and forth. There's battle. There's a lot of fun. In my mind, to do this, it is a sort of a bag-pulling game. So anybody that's familiar with games such as... oh my goodness, I'm going to lose it, Ben. Fill it in. You know what I'm talking about. Quacks of Quedlinburg, yeah. You build your bag, you pull, you do war. You're also trying... The nice thing I like about this one, too, is there are some asymmetric factions. You play a different faction. They have different abilities. It gives it a little bit of replayability. I will say I have played it at more in the 3 and 4 player counts. I have not played it at 5. I have seen a lot of reports that at 5, it does start to drag.
So I played it at 5, and I got to say, I really enjoyed the game, the gameplay, and I can see why people are really excited about Wonderlands War. That said, it did take forever, and I'd say that playtime at 5 players is not accurate. You're like 35 to 40 minutes a player is kind of what I thought it was. But it was absolutely like the whole time I was having a great time. There was a little bit of extra downtime between turns sometimes, especially if you hit that battle phase and you're waiting because you're only really doing battle in maybe 1 or 2 locations and they're like near the end of the battle phase. You're like, hey, I'm going to go run for pizza and cheeseburgers while you guys get there. Maybe it wasn't quite that bad, but it was definitely some significant downtimes. But yeah, I absolutely had a blast. Like when you are pulling from the bag to do the combats and take each other on, that was a ton of fun. I really I enjoy bag builders. So that is definitely something that really kind of brought me into I can play this game again. I want to play this game again, and I definitely would like to play this again with less players and players that knew how to play the game. Although at this point, it's been long enough. I probably need to reteach myself.
So I'll say so I've not played this game. It's on my to play at some point list because it is a game. But I'm looking at the artwork on it.
It's a short list, Suzanne, because it's a game.
Yep, any game, I will play it. So I've noticed that they stay pretty true, the artist does, to the colors associated with the different characters that you see in Alice in Wonderland, like all the iterations and all the different interpretations, but there is something just slightly twisted around about the characters themselves. Like Alice is not this very innocent looking girl. She has a sword and a shield and looks like she's been like battle ready and has been toughened up, and the Mad Hatter looks much cuddlier than Alice does. So is that how the characters play?
So I feel like, if I recall, the theme behind this one is they've come back to Wonderlands after, and now war is breaking out across Wonderland. So Alice is past her I'm kind of clueless and don't know what's going on phase. She definitely does a little bit more war-y, and I would say like the Queen of Hearts is definitely more war-y. The Mad Hatter plays very madness, so he's more into his tea party. It doesn't mean he can't impact the battle phase, but his specialty is let's do crazy things during the tea phase. So yeah, I mean they're all themey. What did you think, Ben?
Yeah, no, I thought so. It's really Alice that goes backwards around the track while everybody else is going so it's kind of interesting like that, because you're not necessarily competing with the other players for stuff. You're able to kind of snag early game tokens that other players can't, or have to worry about player order to be able to get. I thought there was just enough of each of the characters in the game to kind of bring out that theme of the character, but I'm not a huge Alice in Wonderland fan. I don't necessarily know the like exact theme of all of the characters either. So for me, the theme of this game was less important overall. So but the gameplay and the bag pulling and everything else and the artwork is great. By the way, the artwork is great. The look of the game is great. The components were amazing. Although I think I was playing on a full blinged out Kickstarter full backer version of it, but it was all really good. It was a ton of fun.
I do have one question.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a Vorpal blade, and does it go snicker snack?
There are a lot of things that you can get. Some of them are called Wonderlandian cards, where they're like things like the Vorpal blade, and I haven't looked at all the cards, so it's possible it's in there. But they do have a lot of those little things like Snicker Snack, or they have like the Walrusman guy.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of those individual Wonderlandians that they can. You're either trying to build out your bag or pick up Wonderlandians or get quests to help you throughout the game. So there's a lot of ways to earn points. But I do agree with Ben. Like I think my favorite part was build the bag and pull and do battles. It was a lot of fun. So
yeah, I wanted to play in all the battles because that was like the funnest part of the game. Yeah, and it wasn't like, oh, hey, you ran out of tokens in your bag. Well, you'll just reload your bag and start over or go again. You don't have to worry about running out of tokens or anything like that. Mm-hmm. In fact, sometimes like, oh, hey, I want to fight in that battle so I can lose and get some tokens out of my bag so I can reload all my good tokens because I know I'm going into the round with very, very few tokens in my bag.
Mm-hmm.
And so how about the table presence of this game? From the pictures, again, it looks like there's maybe a couple small communal boards, but then most of the space for the players is like their own personal boards. Is it like, how does it look, and how is it easy as to follow along?
There's a main board where almost everything happens. Now, individual players, you are building out your own characters. So like your player board can get a little confusing just because there are, I don't know, half a dozen, maybe 8 different tracks on the player board where you're upgrading things and making things more powerful. So you're adding to your power, or you're making your pulls from the bag better, or putting things into your bag that are better. But the board itself takes up most of the space. You need a fairly good sized table to put this game on the board. Like it takes up a lot of space, but it looks great on the table. Like you said, the colors are great. The art is great. It's a very pretty game.
Well, I can jump in next here. What's a game that doesn't have any downtime at all? A solo game. Recently, I have been playing Final Girl. Final Girl is a one-player horror movie board game where you play the final girl who is the last survivor, of a horror movie, struggling to defeat the horrendous killer. You'll need to rescue victims before the killer gets to them, search for helpful items to help you out against the killer or to distract him, but ultimately your goal is to bring down the killer or die trying. One really cool aspect of this game is that you need both the core box of the game and what they call a feature film box to play. So the feature film basically is a horror movie themed scenario that gives you a scenario, a map, and a specific killer that you're facing off against. Most of these are based on like popular horror movies. So there's ones for like the base one is called like Happy Trails Horror, and it's basically a Friday the 13th themed scenario. But they have ones for like Alien, The Thing. I'm sure there's like a Freddy Krueger one and stuff like that. So each one of these little boxes is themed to a particular horror movie. And while you can play a single scenario like multiple times, there's definitely enough content to retry a scenario a bunch of times and get different outcomes. The feature film boxes go for like $20 a piece. Not too bad to pick up a couple of those and get started with this game. I know you guys have played this one. Actually, I should say I took your recommendation of trying this out as a co-op game as well. So I've played solo and co-op. You guys mentioned you kind of played it co-op together. So I've done that too, which is a fun way to play it as well.
Yeah, Conesy and I have played it co-op. I think we've though played it more solo.
Okay.
Which is nice because you get to choose what's going on yourself, right? And everything. And you don't have to be a fan of horror movies to play this game. Like the artwork is not very gruesome. At least I didn't think so. I'm not a huge fan of horror movies and stuff. And so I was a little nervous that I was gonna, I don't know, have bad dreams or whatever, nightmares from playing the game, which is not the case. I do like how each one feels so very different and kind of in what's happening. And if you know at least the basic of the story it's based off on, the theme really does come through a bit. And I just played the Inkinyaba, I think it's how you say it, one last night. I kind of want to figure out what movie it's based off of and watch it because it was intriguing. I don't know, Conesy, you've played it too, because this is the one solo game you'll play, right?
I wouldn't say it's the only solo game I would play, but it's
the one
probably
solo
the only
game you play without anyone saying, "Hey, play this game by yourself."
Yes, I am definitely not a solo gamer, right? When Final Girl first came around, I was not very excited. Like, oh, it's solo game, solo play. It's targeted at the solo game audience. Hey, you love playing solo games, great, but that's just not for me. So I wasn't really interested in it, but then it happened to be sitting on the board game shelf and at a store, friendly local game store here, and I was like, I keep hearing great things about it. I'll pick up a couple scenarios and the core box, and we'll give it a try. And at least Suzanne will love it because she plays a lot of solo games. What I found was a solo game that was highly narrative, highly thematic, and actually a lot of fun, even though the poltergeist kicked my rear. So, I definitely recommend this one. And yeah, if you're like me and you don't want to play it solo, there's nothing stopping you from just sitting down, like say with your significant other or somebody else or a friend or a buddy or whatever, and just playing Final Girl as a cooperative experience. It's a great little game, and the components aren't over blinged out. They're not overly complicated. The scenario boxes kind of fold open, which was really cool to become like your game board, and then you interact with it, and you have some components and whatnot. And I think every one of those scenario boxes come with like 2 Final Girls too, right? So you can pick your Final Girl, and then you can mix and match those Final Girls from different scenario boxes too, because each Final Girl has like a little bit different asymmetric playstyle and or abilities. So it's really cool. I really like Final Girl. It's a fun little game. I love the way they kind of pick on various clearly movie or horror themed tropes and put it into a game. It's a very cool, neat experience that I'm really glad I overcame my reserve on playing solo games to give this one a try.
Yeah, I will say you guys are intriguing me because I'm like Ben. I'm not a very heavy solo gamer. I would rather be playing with friends or my family here at home. But it sounds interesting, and I'm also like Suzanne, where I'm not a huge horror film aficionado, but it sounds interesting. So give me an example of the final girl. Like, what do they do? Their powers or something? Like, obviously, I understand like the general horror theme. There's always that one girl who's left alive, and she's trying to beat the bad guy at the end, in a lot of horror films. But
I can speak to like the Happy Trails horror one. It comes with 2 different final girls. One of them has, in terms of what you're doing as the final girl, your kind of first goal is to go rescue victims. There are victims scattered across the map, trembling in fear. And if you can get to them and then get them to an exit, they escape and they start coming onto your final girl, the card that represents your final girl. And there's like 6 slots that you need to fill up. Once you fill in those 6 slots, which all have little bonuses associated with them to give you some good boosts as you're playing, you get your power, I don't know if they call it your final power, but it's your final girl special ability. One of them is just that anytime you deal damage, at least 1 damage, you do extra damage. So she's just like an ass kicker. She's just like a butt kicker. Each of them has their own special abilities. I'm sure you guys can speak to that, but you know, the damage thing definitely helps because the killer has way more health than you do, and you have to do your best to take him down as much as possible. So
I'll say though, one thing I found is that there is sometimes iconography or some ambiguity on the tarot cards that you get. The game I was playing last night, I wasn't 100% sure what these random hearts at the bottom meant. If it meant I gave up hearts to get rid of the card, if I got those hearts, like got some health back when I played the card, and I could not easily find the answer online. I'm sure it's there, but I wanted to play the game. I didn't want to sit there and search online. So I made up my own rules. I still lost, so don't think my own rules like helped me and everything. Yeah, I was really close to winning, but I do find though it takes up a lot of table space, which I was not expecting for a solo game that is a dedicated solo game because they're usually seem pretty compact. So I don't know, Justin and Conzi, do you find it takes up a lot of space when you play it, or am I just organizing it wrong?
I mean, I played it on our big Henry gaming table downstairs, so I probably had way more real estate to play it on, so it felt small on that big table surface. That might like were you playing it on like the coffee table?
I always played on the coffee table. That is my location for solo gaming.
Yeah, that's a much smaller play surface, so it might feel like it's a much bigger game just because of the size of the table you're playing on. Very interesting.
Wow.
for a game that comes in a box that's about the size of a VHS tape, okay, kids, a VHS tape is it's a media format that movies used to be on.
Or we used to go to rental stores to rent these things.
So it's
And
about
you had
it's
to
a
be
little
kind
bigger than
and
that.
rewind.
Yeah, like a big clamshell VHS box is about the size. It takes up a fair bit for being a game that comes in a small box, I think.
Thank you for validating that,
Yeah,
Justin.
Yeah, it is definitely much bigger. Like you get this little box and you're like, yes, it takes up quite a bit more space than that little box.
Yep.
It makes you think it's going to be.
I mean, it does have a nice player aid to go through the different steps that you have to do, because otherwise I would forget and skip and just only do the action step over and over.
Never let the killer take a turn.
Never let the killer take a turn.
That's how you
It's
win.
like exactly. It's like when I play with you guys sometimes. I just skip your turn if you're taking too long.
True fact.
I wanted to know, Justin, if you're going to keep getting more of them.
Oh,
Do you like
it's
it
a
enough to get
dangerous.
more?
It is a dangerous game for me. I love horror movies. I watch a fair bit of horror movies, and so I'm probably just gonna slowly collect all of these, little by little. But yeah, I'm gonna, at least the ones I know. Like I've seen the one for The Thing, and I really want that one. Yeah, it's a dangerous one for me. So thanks, Van Ryder Games, making this tempting product. You should go check out WiscoDice.com for links to all the games we've discussed. And while you're at it, leave a review of this podcast wherever you download podcasts.
Let's go ahead and roll into the next part of our show, and that's going to be our 5-player board game fun. So what we've done is we've asked all of the hosts to come up with a couple of their favorite board games that play 5 players minimum out of the box with no expansions, because you're going to have those game nights where you have a need to get a 5-player game to the table because somebody extra decided last minute to say, hey, I can make it. And you're like, and your game plan went from 4 to now 5. We wanted to share some of our favorite games that play 5 players with all of you. Now, that said, we wanted to do this a little bit differently than just giving the old traditional list and talking about games, because what fun is that? That's what everybody else does. So we decided to make this a game. The best part about it being a game is that all of you listening can play along with us. Here's how it's going to work. We're all going to take turns being the host and giving clues to what our game is. In fact, we're going to give up to 3 clues. Now, if after we give a clue, if one of the other hosts, which at that point will be the players, answers first, they will score points. At that point, we'll talk about the game a little bit more and move on to the next one. However, if none of the players are able to guess the game, then the host will give another clue and we'll repeat. And finally, when we get through 3 clues for that game, if nobody has picked the game, then the host will have to just reveal what the game was. Now, of course, since you're all playing along at home, there's going to be some points because this is a game. So if you get it on the first guess, if a player gets it on the first clue, they'll get 3 points. If a player gets it on the second clue, they get 2 points. And if they get it on the third clue, they get 1 point. Of course, since you're playing at home, you all get a bonus chance of being a player because all of our hosts on today's show have to take a round being a host and not just play all 4 rounds. With that said, if any of you outscore our hosts today, we want to hear about it. So make sure you shoot us an email at hosts@WiscoDice.com or give us a message on our social media or hop onto our Discord and let us know there, because we want to know how well you did in comparison to our hosts today. If there aren't any questions out there, team, let's get into the Dice is Right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and kick things off, and I'm going to give clue number 1. My clue number 1 is not very long. It is, in fact, a single word, and that word is... Drum roll. We don't have expensive sound effects, so I can't insert a drum roll here. Small budget production here. My clue is navigators.
I got one. Got a guess.
Guess.
Okay, code names.
Nope, that is not correct.
Oh, I got
Next clue.
Ooh.
I never have enough tools in this game.
Can I guess again?
Yeah, just spit it out.
Expeditions. Oh wait, that's not the name of it.
You are also not correct.
Yeah, that's not the name of it.
Oh, I can't think of the name of the game. I know the game too. Oh, this is gonna bug me.
Man, I'm at a
Next
loss.
clue. Lake to forest.
What? Lake to
Ooh, now you threw me
forest.
for a loop.
Well, so it's not Artemis Project?
No.
There's no tools in Artemis. Well, sort of.
Yeah,
Raiders
there are
of the
those
North
cool
Sea.
boxes.
Artemis Project, but nope,
Yeah.
that is not correct.
Oh, what did you say, Justin?
Raiders of the North Sea?
No, that is not correct.
Lake to forest. Oh, duh.
Matt, do you got a
I'm out of
guess?
guesses.
Oh, I'm not. I
Yeah,
in my
it's
head, I
his
know I
favorite
should know
game.
this.
His favorite game, I bet.
The tools thing. Oh, yeah. Okay. Jeez Louise. I think you've got it, Suzanne.
Well, but I've run out of guesses.
All right.
We're
Well,
out of guesses, so we have limited guesses.
I
I
don't
think
know.
one guess per hint is
So
probably
Yeah.
I think
reasonable.
I'll go Terra Mystica.
that is also not correct.
Ugh.
No, this is This is a
There are
game that
no
specifically has
in
tools.
Terra Mystica.
I think I know, but I'm
What
just
are
my
those
brain
called?
can't think of the name of the game, so I'm gonna.
The game is
Killing me.
Age of Innovation from Feuerland Spiel and
Yes.
published here in the US from Capstone Games, which is a Terra Mystica game,
Terra
but
Mystica.
is not Terra Mystica.
Dang.
So that is also it is kind of out. It's probably out edging my favorite game of all time over Terra Mystica these days. So, but it does play 5 out of the box. It is amazing components and is it is very close, if not my favorite game, and is a very deep, awesome Euro game. That is Age of Innovation. Check it out.
Got close. I got close. Ooh.
Mhm.
Did. You were close. You'll get it next time, Justin.
Yeah, I was thinking of a totally different game, so I'm not even going to claim closeness.
So far, our hosts are all 0. Hopefully, you're playing it long. Your score is better.
Yeah.
Especially if you
I don't
got
know
it
how I
right.
missed that. Like,
Oh my goodness. Well, I'll go ahead and jump in next. My first clue: this worker placement game is out of this world.
Artemis Project.
No.
worker placement.
Gaia Project.
No.
That's not it's not worker placement.
It's not Ganymede?
Nope.
It's not worker placement.
All right. Second clue: you might need a good long rest to win this game.
That definitely threw me for a loop. I don't have a clue.
Let me have just a second.
Tick, 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 tick. We also can't afford a clock timer, so
yeah.
No. Okay.
The rest thing. Oh,
Out of the world.
oh.
All right.
No, nope.
Moving on to our third clue. Have you got the buzz on this game yet? How can it not be?
Oh,
Apiary.
Apiary.
I think Justin got
I think
that
Justin
one.
kicked it out first.
You did.
Yeah.
All right. So Apiary does play to, actually it says 1 to 5, but in my experience, I've always played it in the 2 to 5 category. It is produced by Stonemaier Games. It is a space-based themed game where bees have taken over after humans have died out. So I enjoy this worker placement game. It plays pretty quick. It's not a terribly long game. So, I mean, it's not short at 5 players, but not too bad of a teach, in my opinion. So
I think the rest of the hosts have had a chance to play that, right? I haven't, though.
Yeah.
No, you haven't. Yeah, you keep being at the other table. So,
No. That's kind of the way the bee buzzes, I guess.
Yeah.
all right.
We'll get Conesy to play it at some point. So Justin's way ahead from everyone else with 1 point.
Woo.
Yep.
He's running away with it.
That might be a winning score here at the rate we're going.
Well, okay. I think mine are amazing clues that you will just get immediately.
Well, according to the show notes, it says the best hints. That's your 3 clues.
Exactly. They are the best to ensure you guys win.
Well, you
Okay.
better start giving them.
You ready? So this first one is a card-driven engine building game where the cards also impact your actions and the end game scoring.
Terraforming Mars.
No.
Terra Nova.
Nope. We're watching Justin think.
Furnace?
Nope. Because that one you need the expansion to make it 5
Oh,
players.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure.
Because it was on my list until we made the caveat about not having expansions.
Okay.
All right. There is a lot of strategic planning and resource management with very little direct conflict between players.
Raising Robots.
Nope. But that would have been a very good one.
Ooh, that would have been a good one.
Dang, I thought for sure this was going to be that.
That was on my list that everyone saw at one point.
I don't know.
I had to
on this
pick
one.
2 new games. or I had to pick 2 games.
Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition?
Nope.
I don't know if that plays 5 out of the box either.
Yes, it does.
Hmm.
Pretty sure it does. All right. Last one. There has a theme. It's an economic development in Roman times.
7 Wonders.
Nope.
It's
Oh my gosh! I thought
comes
these
in
were
a massive box. It's a massive, massive box. I can't think of the name of it.
What color is the box, Conesy?
It's blue. Foundations of Rome.
No.
Only
Because that was the other one. I had Raising
Wow,
Rome.
we are not doing well on this.
Oh,
But
The only
then
thing I
everyone
can think
saw
of-
that, and I had to
Man.
we changed the
What
format.
happened to the best clues ever?
Oh my gosh! Does
Can I-
Justin have a guess?
man. The only thing I can think of is Glory to Rome, but I don't
I don't think Suzanne's
think you
played
have
that.
that game.
No, it's on my wanna playlist though. You know why?
Because it's a
It's a
game.
Yep. No, this one is Concordia.
Oh
Oh.
my god.
I was like,
yeah.
sorry.
Oh man.
I
Yep.
thought it was very okay. I love Concordia,
Yep.
even though there's not much interaction between players, because you are drawing these cards and buying these cards that you have in your hand that then you're playing for actions, and then you've got to do the action to pick them all back up. And I really like that, where you have this hand of actions that you're playing, and you're going around and you're discovering worlds and stuff, and you can, even if someone already has claimed an area, you can put your piece down on there. It just costs you a little bit more. And at the end of the game, the cards in your hand, how many you have of certain types, impact your scoring. So
Yeah. No.
I may have to play that one sometime.
Oh, Concordia is great.
Yeah, I've never shown anybody or taught anybody Concordia, and then they said they had a bad time after playing it.
Yep.
But there is a little bit of player interaction to it, because there is a bit of a race to get your trading
to the
posts
certain-
to locations, because it gets more expensive to place there if you're second.
It
So
does,
there is-
but there's not conflict, and it does not keep you from doing it completely. It's not
No.
a only one can claim it type of thing.
No, but it is like an interesting little territory control on the board, especially early in the game, because you can't afford sometimes that extra expense. So yeah, Concordia is awesome. Yeah, it absolutely is.
All right. Well, I will let you know that my clues get better than that, to the point that if you don't get my last one, it's next game. It's
I think they're
Well,
fine
question.
clues. We're not.
Yeah,
in the
we
same-
just aren't so good.
there are so many 5-player games though that we have played over the years. But I don't know.
Yep.
Justin, why don't you wow us and stump us now?
Yeah, sure. I try to make mine not too hard, I think. So this first one is in the form of a riddle. So I will do like the first stanza or whatever, and we'll go from there. In a city where intrigue runs deep, a tight grip on your coin you should keep.
Oh, Lords of Waterdeep.
Wow, in one. Got it in one.
Wow.
Intrigue, deep,
Yes. I
coins.
threw those.
I mean, they're
lots of
all the
hints in there.
keywords from
Yeah.
it.
I want to hear the whole. I think
Yeah,
I
I
want to
do
hear
too.
the
You don't
whole
want to hear the
Yeah,
whole
no.
riddle now.
I appreciate that. Okay, so here's the whole riddle. It's in a city where intrigue runs deep, a tight grip on your coin you should keep. For you may find a business in which to invest, or gather a party to take on a quest. Be it with magic or piety, stealth or sword, you'll compete to become the mightiest lord.
Nice. Very nice.
Wow.
So lots of hints in there.
Yeah.
But,
And I still wouldn't have got it.
How would you have not gotten
I
that?
got the whole riddle, and now I'm like confused. I'm like, are you sure it was Lords of Waterdeep? I don't think that was the game.
No, I'm pretty sure it
People
was.
have to
I'm scared
stay
of
up
what
tonight
it
and play Lords of Waterdeep, and I will show you how it relates to the game.
As she crushes me.
Oh,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah.
so I think that
That's
got us
an
all through our
awesome
first
game.
yes.
I think so. Though Suzanne's running away with it, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well,
God.
point.
points.
Good
But
job.
Justin's in a close second.
I wondered if putting deep in the first thing was too good of a clue, but yeah, it worked.
I didn't know
I
what
don't
it
know.
was. Makes
I
me
feel like I've made mine hard, but we'll figure that out.
My mind was rhyming when you started, doing the riddle, and so deep, it made me go, "Oh, what rhymes with deep? It must be that." So now you know how my mind works. All right. Next round.
All right,
Cozy.
next round. I will kick off round number 2. So round number 2, clue number 1 will be... Everybody's waiting very quietly and patiently. I can see them all intensely staring via their cameras. You can't see this at home, but everybody's staring closely, waiting for this clue. Because I'm vile like this and like to build up the tension.
And there's a really good reason there's a whole floor between us right now instead of just a thin wall of air.
All right. Well, this clue is Lost in Space.
Artemis Project.
Nope.
Gaia Project?
Nope.
Galaxy Trucker?
No.
Oh, okay. Next
All
clue.
right. The next clue is can't find the shower.
Nemesis?
Yep, you got it.
Yep.
Well,
I was almost there.
Hmm.
my
Nemesis.
third clue is going to be hibernation sickness, so
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yep. I think I would have gotten it on that one.
now Suzanne's really taking it away.
Oh, yeah.
5 whole points. Wow. All right. And Matt, what do you got?
All right. So for my first clue, if the stars align, you might win this cooperative game.
Operative game stars. It's space themed co-op.
It can't be one that we've already named. Oh, Message in the Stars.
No.
It's I don't think it's the name of it.
Is
That's not the name of it.
I think you're barking up the wrong tree, folks.
Cosmoctopus?
No.
That's
That
not
only plays
cooperative.
4, I think, to start.
Yeah, I wasn't sure
Yeah.
how the player
Yeah,
count
I think
was
it
on
maxes at 4. Sorry.
Part of this is racking my brain on what's in your board game.
What's in my collection? That's what I figured. All right.
Good strategy.
Here, I'll give you a second hint. This story and the telling might just cause a few arguments.
Oh, Libertalia. Oh, that's
No.
not cooperative. Dang it.
No. It is.
Ben's thinking. He knows it.
I know
He's
what it
played
is
it.
now. I know what it is now.
I can't think of the name of it. I played it twice.
Ben, look in my
Online
eyes. I will
both
send it
times.
to you. I will
Is
send it to you telepathically.
Oh, is it Forgotten Waters?
Correct.
That is
Yeah.
it.
That is
I
it.
couldn't think of the name of it.
Way to go, Justin.
It's like I never played something like this with pirates. Yeah.
Yep. Forgotten Waters. It is a somewhat cooperative. You are trying to build as you build your player, you're trying to build a constellation in the stars. So
I'm
Oh,
really
it is
curious what their new sci-fi game is.
yes, I did back that. This is by Plaid Hat Games, for those of you who are wondering. The game is Forgotten Waters. It does have I think it's a pretty cool app, because in theory, this game came out, I want to say, 3 months before the pandemic landed. And so the company very quickly shifted their app to be like online. It was a little janky in the very beginning, but they actually did make it so that you could play this online with your friends. And they actually have a fully voiced kind of thing going on. So I think it's pretty cool. It is a little long on the playtime, but you can kind of divide it in two. So
yeah. If you actually listen to all the audio tracks, it certainly does add.
Yeah,
to the
it is
playtime.
pretty
The
long.
cool factor is totally there. I
Yeah.
really like to play this with like a nice little sound setup at an actual physical gaming table. That would be pretty cool.
yeah, we should probably do that sometime.
Chuck it on the.
right.
All right,
table
Justin,
of
back on the
games we-
board, getting competitive with Suzanne again. Back up to
Yes.
3 points.
Yeah.
Should we see if Conzi or Matt can get on the board at all, or if
Apparently
Justin's
we
gonna
can't.
just take it away now?
I heard points were overrated.
Yeah, says the person without any.
I have to believe that one or more of our listeners are doing better than us at this.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
guarantee
Well-
somebody out there's got to be doing better than me.
I will say you guys have it easy because I have I should not have said anything when you named Raising Robots and that other one a little bit ago that I had them on a list that I took off because
I completely forgot you had that list. You posted it, so
I posted it as soon as we had the topic and then we changed the format. So, okay, here we go. This one has interactive meteor impacts on it.
Planet Unknown.
Yep.
Yep.
wow. Matt
Got
is
on the board.
Matt's not just on the board; he is on the board with
Nice work.
authority.
Nice
3
work.
points.
You didn't get my other awesome clues. I told you it was great clues, though. All right, Justin, you're up.
Okay.
Oh, do we need to talk about Planet Unknown? Does everyone know
Yeah.
Planet Unknown?
Planet Unknown, Adam's Apples Games.
Great tile laying game. Sci-fi themed.
Simultaneous play.
Oh, and
lazy
one of the
Susan, if you're
best
lucky enough
things.
to have the lazy Susan
Mhm.
tile distributing system.
That
that
is
thing is
one of
Yeah.
the best game components.
Yeah.
That I think I've played with at the table. It's just cool.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
They are finally releasing a lid for it so it doesn't spill all over if you store the thing vertically.
Yes, I have got that Kickstarter back, the Screw an
Yep.
expansion with that lid too.
Should be
So
coming up pretty soon here.
I hope so.
Yep.
We will have to get it out again.
If it isn't, we're gonna have to give Adam a question or two when we get a chance to talk to him. Hopefully.
Yeah. But all right. Back to Justin.
Okay. Here we go. First clue. You can explore this game with 2 to 5 players.
Is it Expeditions?
Nope.
Ooh.
I feel like it's got that in the title now.
I know. That's where I was like, oh, I should know this.
And for whatever reason, Exploding Kitchens keeps coming in ahead, which has nothing to do with exploring.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I probably am gonna regret this later that I don't know what it is.
You can explore this game with 2 to 5 players, but you might need a spaceship.
Space Explorers?
Nope.
Space.
Ooh, no.
Oh, that has more.
Explore space.
You need spaceships, though, in space.
I think I know it, but I've already made my guess for this round.
Conesy?
I don't know it.
It
Okay.
sounds like you don't know any games about space. Like, you need to add some more space games to your collection.
I think we might have a few space games in the collection, but I can picture boxes, but I can't think of the titles on the boxes right now.
All right, next clue.
All right.
And I do not want to
Ready.
cheat and use the Googles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm not
So it's the
using
third
Googles.
clue.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. I'll do it again from the beginning. It's important. You can explore this game with 2 to 5 players, but you might need a spaceship. You'll also need to develop a bit of luck so that once the dice settle, they produce what you need to win.
Alien
Oh.
Frontiers.
Ooh, no.
No. Roll for the Galaxy.
Roll for the galaxy. For
Of course. Our winner
Of
continues
course.
to win.
She's
Oops.
not that
That
far.
was
I just
a
made
good
her.
one.
I just made her official score 1 point.
What? I am keeping the official score over here also, so we could compare notes later on.
Hmm.
So, Roll for the Galaxy is a ton of fun because everyone's like rolling at the same time and simultaneously placing and making decisions. So, it doesn't really matter. The more players you have, it takes about the same amount of time,
Who's
right?
the
Yeah.
publisher on that one?
Rio Grande Games is the publisher. Yeah, and it just has these really cool dice bag building. It's not really a bag, but you build a pool of dice, expand your abilities to do different actions. You explore planets and you make technological developments. And it's my favorite version of any of the Race for the Galaxy series of games. Just love checking all those dice. Good stuff.
Dice are great. They just hate me.
We love dice at WiscoDice.
We
Dice
do
games
love
are the
them.
bomb.
You know
Yep.
what else we like? We like a bonus round.
Winning.
Ooh. Ooh, I've heard rumors Justin
Oh.
might have a bonus for our listeners.
Well, I was kind of thinking since we all prepped 3 games and I'm having such a good time over here that maybe we just all give our 3rd game.
Ooh.
We should. Yes.
And this game that I'm going to give...
Ben just wants a chance to bring up some points on his own.
He's got to
He's
get
the
on
only
board.
one at
Come on.
zero.
Point by the end of this, yes.
Wait. Can I just recap the points real quick for everyone of our
This is
listeners?
painful.
Yeah, do it.
We have Conesy with a big fat 0.
Conesy with a bonus.
Justin, the Riddle Master with 3. Matt with Space-ish games. I don't know what's about your games. I guess they're not all space. You have 3 points also. And the most competitive player here right now, me, with 6 points.
I'm
See, everyone
pretty
at
sure-
home now realizes how competitive I am.
I'm pretty sure she cheated.
Ow! Yes,
I don't know.
I can see into everyone's computer screen.
It's reflected on my glasses, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why I keep
All right, Ben.
hiding mine. All right, Ben,
Come on,
what do you
Ben.
got?
What do you
All
got for
right.
us?
This game has a creepy atmosphere.
Ooh.
Oh,
what's that one
Mansions
called?
Oh,
of
Mansions of Madness? Oh,
No.
did Justin get
No.
it?
Oh my God, I should know this.
I didn't hear what Justin said.
I said Mansions of Madness as well.
Stifling
okay.
Dark.
No, Matt got it.
Oh, way
that
to
was
go,
fast.
Matt.
Wow.
That's from our friends at Sophisticated Cerberus Games, and now we have a tie for the lead.
Ah, you're going down, Matt.
It took me a second to think of the game.
That
I
is-
thought one of you were going to get it before that.
I've only played it as a 2-player, so I forget that it can do 5.
The Stifling Dark is a hidden movement game where one player controls the adversary, take on the other 4 players as investigators. And yeah, it's kind of creepy. It's kind of suspenseful when those little eyes come out and you get a stock token on those investigators, or even better, when your little creepy adversary goes running by and slashes them and they get a hint of, oh, hey, he was right there and he slashed me. Oh, wait, he went and disappeared into the darkness, and you're getting your flashlights out on the board to try to figure out where things are and get evidence of the supernatural. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Good game.
Okay, my final game. Clue number 1. I want you to do well with me, just not as good as me.
Medium?
No.
Between Two Cities?
No.
Oh, that's a good one.
Any thoughts, Ben?
No.
All right. Clue number 2. Germany and Austria is where this game is based.
Lord. No, I really don't know.
Between the Castles of Mad King Ludwig?
I'll give it to you.
That was my. So, what?
Between Two Castles
yeah,
of Mad King
Between
Ludwig.
Two Castles, or it's Castles
Yeah.
of Mad King Ludwig, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did I say?
I almost said that
You,
right away.
you
as
said
my second
between
guess. Damn.
castles, and it's between 2 castles of Mad King Ludwig. So
Oh,
it is a tile layer. It is produced by Bezier Games here in the U.S. So it's a tile layer where I want to build the best castle with the 2 people on either side of me. I want to get the most points, but ideally, I want the people next to me to get less points, because you're always judged based on the worst castle you built.
That is a fun game.
It's one of my favorite games. I really like that game a lot.
In meeting Suzanne's requirements, it has a very nice tray for all the tiles,
Oh,
and
yes.
it's a great, easy one to set up. And I think it plays up to 7. It's really.
Does it play up
6
to
or 7?
It does, and the thing I like about it is a very simultaneous game. The thing that I feel like takes the longest in the game is calculating the points at the end, but
Oh yeah, yeah.
but overall, like,
The game
it plays
takes longer to
fairly
calculate the score.
I mean, it's a pretty quick game to play, though. Once you teach people, like, you can play 2-3 of that game pretty quick. So
Nice.
It is definitely a good game. I definitely like that game. Although I like the Castles of Mad King Ludwig too. So
Yes.
Man, I should have said that first instead of Between Two Cities.
you were close. I thought you were going to get it.
Yeah.
Well, If you hadn't said between two cities, I would not have thought of between two castles of Mad King Ludwig.
Yeah.
All
So-
right. Well,
All right. You ready?
I'm not sure if I'm ready.
Oh my gosh. You need to get one. All right. This one has customizable scoring objectives. So you can tailor your strategy by selecting from a variety of scoring objectives during the game, such as creating a specific monster combination or maximizing your treasure hoard.
I think the more you talked, the more confused I got. Oh, there's a lot of games that you can customize. Stone Spine Architects.
Oh man.
Ooh, coming in
think-
clutch in this final bonus
Wow.
round.
I
Ben
told
gave
you
me.
that I had the best clues. The most people have gotten it on the first try, the first game with mine. So far.
Well, going in,
I think I get bonus points for that.
no pressure going into the final round here, or the final game. But scores now are Matt at 9, Suzanne at 8, and Justin at 3.
And
Whoever gets
Cozy, how
this
many do
one,
you have?
it's not relevant. Going into this round, if you're not Cozy, there might be some hot competition for the score. So, Justin, take it away.
Okay.
I'm gonna cave under pressure.
So this one is
I think this
actually-
one, you should give the whole thing, no weights.
Sure.
Whoever gets it first gets the 3 points.
It'll work best that way because it's a haiku.
Ooh.
You get points for having the most creative
Yeah.
ones.
Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
To find their killer, the dead share silent visions. Suspect, place,
Mysterious.
and means. Mysterious.
Yeah. I was gonna say that. Good.
I was going to let him finish before I blurted that one out.
Yeah, I feel like.
Sorry. Okay, fine. Finish it. I'll be quiet. So everyone can hear it.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just so
I'll do it
excited.
again. Sure. So it's to find their killer, the dead share silent visions. Suspect, place, and means. And Mysterium is the answer. Good job.
Yeah. I heard that go to Ben.
I was surprised Ben didn't pick this one.
I tried to stick to actual games that were actually 5 players max. I was-
Oh,
Not that it
Oh.
was a part of the rules for this, but I wanted to keep my games at exactly 5 players.
Oh.
So
Ah,
I stuck
think
away
that-
from that one.
I think
And then
it's
it
5
dawned on
players.
me what another favorite game of mine would have been great for clues is Distilled. So yeah. All right.
one
So-
I didn't pick. I thought you were gonna pick it.
All right. So I've got our final scores. Coming in at irrelevant is myself. We won't talk about that score. Coming in at second place is Matt at 9 points. Coming in at, or I should say third place. Coming in at second place at 11 points is Suzanne. And coming in as our winner with 3,000 points is Justin.
For writing a
Because the
haiku.
haiku gave him 2,997 points.
Yes, that was
I don't know
pretty
about that.
awesome. That's a
I
pretty
give you
high
bonus
bar
points.
for our next Dice is Right game.
Yeah, so
I have to imagine somebody who played at home did better than one of us.
yeah,
But
for
I
sure,
want to know
for
what
sure.
someone's score is. So if you're listening to this and you scored higher than 3,000 points, let us know.
or higher
Score
than
it lower.
11.
yeah, maybe
Yeah.
11.
If your score was better than Suzanne's, we definitely want to know about it.
Yep.
But yeah, that is the Dice is Right. And well, Suzanne is definitely the Dice is Right winner today. So we also recapped 2 wonderful games that we've been playing recently in Final Girl from Van Ryder Games and Wonderlands War from Druid City Games. So make sure you check those out as well. And of course, we want to hear about what your top 5 favorite games are of all time that play 5 players or more. Shoot us an email, drop us a comment on our social media, or of course, you can hop into our Discord and share that information. All those links are on our website at WiscoDice.com. Until next time, thanks for listening. Don't forget to leave a comment and review and all of the stars and hearts or whatever it is on your podcast listening app.
Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you leave a review of this show wherever your favorite place is to find podcasts. Oh, and by the way, give us a like on our Facebook page. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, or Pinterest while you're at it. If you haven't looked recently, make sure you catch up on the blog at WiscoDice.com. Hey, Brian, what's that site?
Ah, darn, I forget. Justin, what's our website again?
WiscoDice.com.
That's right, it's WiscoDice.com. And until next time, everyone, peace out.